computer, and then I will figure out the techie stuff afterwards, because I'm going to get my son to help me to get the recording to you. Okay. So just before we start, hoping that you've all got either cushions or bolsters, bricks if you've got them, pillows, blankets, and things to stay warm. If you haven't, I'll give you a couple of minutes just to go and grab what you need to grab, because you'll need all of the equipment that you have to help you be supported in the yin and the restorative. So, namaste. Welcome to this winter solstice celebration with our yoga practice. So, new solar year is upon us, and the earth begins to start tilting back towards the sun. I can't believe we're here, to be fair. This year has just gone, even though so much seems to have happened but not happened, we're already at winter solstice. It seems like these cycles just come and go really, really quickly. So we're going to practice this evening a really slow yoga flow. Not so much, well, yes, vinyasa, but we're not going to be doing any chaturangas or knees, chest, chins. It's just slowing everything down and really just using our yang practice, if you like, as a means to just recognizing that light within you. So this whole evening is about carrying the light through the darkness, and you are the light. So just reigniting that light within you. And then after, I'd say about an hour, 50 minutes, we're going to do yin, few restorative postures. The yin is all going to be related to the kidney and the urinary bladder, which is linked to the water element, which is linked to winter. So everything links nicely together, and I'll talk to you more about the meridian lines that we're working with while you do your yin stuff. So when we do get to the yin, really make sure that you're nice and warm, because you're going to be holding some of the postures for at least sort of 5 minutes, and make sure that you're comfortable. You've got stuff around you to make you comfortable. Okay. So let's begin. Let's arrive at this wonderful winter solstice evening, just bearing in mind that tomorrow is actually the official winter solstice. I was just talking to Jane and Molly that apparently they were streaming from Stonehenge today, which I was a little bit confused about, because it is actually the 21st is winter solstice, the shortest day of the year. And it's when the earth starts to tilt back towards the sun. So lie yourselves down. Have you all got your candles with you as well, guys, for when we've done Shavasana? You've got your candles, fake or real, and a lighter. If we were in the studio, then you would be lighting it from my candle, but unfortunately, COVID just prevents us from doing that. So let's get started. Lie yourself down into Shavasana. Let's arrive at our practice. And just as I'm chatting, I want you to really start to focus on the breath. Let the breath be your anchor to here and now for the next 2.5 hours. Wow, wonderful 2.5 hours. So start to even out your breath and find that lovely balanced ebb and flow. And so for thousands of years, winter solstice has been celebrated around the world, way before any kind of religion came along. Thousands of years celebrated to acknowledge the shortest day of the year and this return to light, a return to innocence, a rebirth along the wheel of life as the great world continues to spin. So I just think it's really important to continue to acknowledge that and celebrate that. So just start to get settled in, surrender the weight of your body into the support of the earth. Let yourself totally relax. And remind yourself you have nowhere to be, nowhere to go, nothing to do. This is your time. This wonderful time to acknowledge this rebirth of the sun. This little quote is from the Upanishads. You are what your deepest desire is. As your desire is, so is your intention. As your intention is, so is your will. As your will is, so is your deed. As your deed is, so is your destiny. Just allow the words to sink in. Maybe they resonate, maybe they don't. Don't overanalyze that. Just be. Gently take your awareness to the crown of your head. Relax the crown of your head. Smooth out your forehead. Relax your eyes. Just imagine your eyes sinking deep into the sockets, away from the lids. Relax your cheeks, your jaw. Separate your back teeth slightly. Just let the tongue fall from the roof of the mouth. Feel that lovely softness spread over your face. Allow your head to feel heavy. Sinking yet safe and supported. Bringing your focus, your awareness to your neck. Relax the neck, back of the neck, sides of the neck, the throat. Perhaps just swallowing to release your throat. Relax your shoulders. Just let them sink into the support of the earth beneath you. Relax your arms, your upper arms, your lower arms, wrists, backs of the hands, fingers, thumbs, palms of the hands. Just allow your arms to feel as though they are sinking, yet safe and supported. Relax from the shoulders all the way to the fingertips. Let go. Bringing your awareness now to your back, the whole of your back. Your upper back relaxes, middle back and lower back. For a few rounds of your breath, just move that energy up and down your spine, that prana, that life force. Inhale in your mind's eye, follow the breath in through the nostrils, down the back of the throat, all the way to your tailbone. Exhale, send that breath back up the spine, through the throat, out through the nostrils. Continue that process, breathing in, taking the energy all the way to the tailbone. Exhale, sending the breath back up the spine, back out through the nostrils, just clearing the way for that energy to flow. Lovely slow flow yang practice to begin, where we cultivate a little bit more energy, perhaps to try to reignite that flame within. I think by the time that we've all got to this stage, especially with the year that we've had, I feel like our light's been snuffed out a little bit. So allow your yang practice this evening to just relight your light. The light is always within. Perhaps you are feeling a little dim, a little smothered, but the light is still there. And hover your awareness over your heart space. Soften the skin over your heart. Take a moment to really tune into that inhalation and exhalation, the expansion and then the retraction in the lungs and the chest. Maybe you can even tune into your heartbeat. Soften into your belly. Relax the sides of your body, into your hips, your pelvis, to the groin and the glutes. Just feel a sense of heaviness wash over that area of your body. Allow that relaxation to spread down into those legs, so your upper legs, sending a message from your brain to those thigh muscles to release, to relax. Then round the back, your hamstrings, just let go. Soften into your knees. Allow the relaxation to cascade down the shins, round the back, the calf muscles, softening into your ankles. Relax the tops of your feet, every toe, soles of the feet. Your whole physical body completely relaxed. Relax the brain. Relax the brain. Relax the brain. Let's just think a moment about your soul, your spirit, that little light. The sun symbolizes your soul. In fact, the word solstice means sun standing still. So in a sense, we could say that your soul stands still on solstice, maybe even long enough for you to catch a glimpse of it. As some legends say, you can at this divine time of year catch a glimpse of your soul. The longest night, meaning that it contains the most hours of darkness, is a deeply trusted nocturnal delight, a sort of spiritual pillow where we rest our head and nestle under the soft layers of a velvety void. And as you enjoy the longest night and the brightest of lights of the season this year, please remember this: your soul is the light of the world. You carry the light within you. It's by a lady called Diane Booth Gilliam. To set your intention, especially for the first part of this practice, to just reignite your internal light. Take a nice deep breath in, all the way down into your lower belly, and just hold it there. Open the mouth, big sigh. Let go of your stresses, your worries, your stories, your dramas. And again, deep breath in. Hold the breath at the top. Open the mouth, big sigh. Last time, deep breath in. Hold the breath at the very top. Open the mouth, big sigh. Just coming back to that nostril breathing, gentle breathing in and out. Just find that balance once more. So 2, 3, 4 in, 2, 3 or 4 out. Start to wriggle your fingers, wriggle your toes, bring some physical movement back to your body. Head starts to gently move from side to side. We're not going to spend too long on our backs right now. You've had time to connect your physical body. You've had time to connect your breath and quieten that mind. That is what this starting Shavasana is all about. Just literally leaving that outside world truly behind and arriving into this present moment. So move intuitively as you wake yourself up from that starting relaxation. Maybe you feel compelled to do a full body stretch. Maybe you feel compelled to make like a snow angel or a pentacle, whatever name you want to give that. But stretching and reaching and waking up, however feels good for you. Take your time. And then when you feel ready, just gently rolling onto your side and pressing yourself up to seated. And we're going to light our sun candle. And if you were in the studio, I would be lighting my candle and you would all light it from my candle. But we're just going to imagine, okay? We're going to imagine that we are together, and we are together, we are connected. So it's going to take a moment as you arrive to seated. Just sit nice and tall, make sure you're still nice and warm. Maybe you just want to keep your eyes closed for a little while. And I just want you to take a moment to think about what the return of the sun means to you. The return of this wonderful light, this source, what it means to you. It's all very well kind of coming and doing a winter solstice, but what does it truly mean to you? And you know what? If you get a blank mind, it doesn't matter. Don't overanalyze that. But just take a couple of breaths, a couple of moments to just have a little think about what it means to you. So just keeping your eyes closed and contemplating that, I'm just going to, for like a little ritual, light the sun candle. And if you, like I say, we're in the studio, you'd be lighting from mine. And as I light my candle, I'm going to say, the wheel of the year has turned once more, and the nights have grown longer and colder. Tonight, the darkness begins to retreat, and the light begins its return once again. As the wheel continues to spin, the sun returns once more. Even in the darkest hours, even in the longest nights, the spark of life lingers on, laying dormant, waiting, ready to return when the time was right. The darkness will leave us now as the sun begins its journey home. So guys, I gave you some words to say. If you haven't got them, it's no problem. But if you want to say them in your head or out loud, I can't hear you in the studio. Nobody else can hear you. So the words that I give you are in the email. And if you want to light your candle and just say those words, and I'm going to say them as well. So light your candle now. So if Jane can do that for Molly. And you'll be saying, if you want to repeat it after me, you can if you haven't got the words. As the wheel turns, light returns. The light of the sun has returned to us, bringing life and warmth with it. The shadows will vanish and life will continue. We are blessed by the light of the sun. And then making sure that you pop your candle, if it's real, completely safe to one side. I don't want no one becoming a light on the yoga mat. So take it all the way to one side, away from anything, make sure it's nice and safe. You're going to need your candle later on. I'm hoping to do a little Tratak meditation towards the end. So you'll all be required to like switch your lights off and focus on the candle. So just as we are seated and you're comfortable, I'll just wait for everybody to get seated and comfortable. If you don't like crossing your legs, then extend your legs all the way out. I'm just going to have a little look at everybody, make sure everyone's ready. Okay. I've had to have you all down the side of my screen so that I can just record just myself. So it's not a gallery view. So if I keep flicking down the screen, that's why. So just coming back to seated, just do some lovely shoulder rolls, breathing in, breathing out. Remember, this is all about connection to the soul and nurturing. So even though we're doing a bit of a yang practice, we're moving really slowly and mindfully. So just rolling your shoulders and whatever feels good for you. Breathing in and breathing out. Okay, and then bringing your fingertips to the tops of your shoulders and start to make some big circles with your elbows. So just double checking that you're thinking about lifting, almost like lifting your spine out of the pelvis so you can grow the length of your spine, just gently starting to constrict the lower abdominals, about 50% to activate that belly lock. And then roll the shoulders, roll the elbows forwards, just getting some movement into those shoulders. I know my shoulders are cracking and clicking all over the place. Breathing in, breathing out. And then just shaking off those arms, give them a good old shake. Okay, maybe rolling the head from side to side. Try not to take it all the way to the back because the back of your neck is really a sensitive place and you can get a bit of crunching going on. So don't let your head fall all the way to the back. Just side to side, just stretching out the neck. The next time your chin comes down towards your chest, just hold it there. Fingertips to ground down through the fingertips and just drop the chin down towards the chest and feel that lovely stretch in the back of your neck. See if you can just roll the shoulders forwards a little bit so you stretch across the back of your shoulders and you're grounding, feeling like you're grounding through those fingertips and through your sitting bones. Breathing in, breathing out. And then inhale, raise the gaze and just bring in the backs of your hands to rest on your knees. Index finger and thumb just touching, just to seal in that. It's an energy lock. Mudras are just about sealing in energy. So we're not going to overanalyze mudras right here, right now. And we're just going to start to even out our breath. So let's use a count of 4. It's like a boxed breathing. So you're going to inhale for 4, you're going to hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold for 4. So I'm going to start to count you, and then I'm going to leave you to count in your own mind. So exhale fully. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Keep going, counting in your own head. Keep your eyes closed. Feel that rooting sensation through the sitting bones, a lifted and lightness from the crown of the head. Just creating that even breath. Samavriti pranayam, even or equal breath. Tonight is all about nurturing, nourishing, sitting, hibernating, self-love, Just caring for who you are, what you are, right here, right now. No rush. Just moving away from the chaos of this season. So just do me one more round of that even breath, and then bring your hands to prayer, and then I'll know that you're done. There is no rush. Just count for yourself, and then I can just check out who's done when their hands are together in Anjali Mudra. I've chosen some really balancing breaths this evening. And the next breath that we're going to do is Anuloma Viloma, alternate nostril breathing. So just taking the left hand, back of the hand to your left knee, right thumb, just blocking off that right nostril. Now take your index finger, middle finger to the third eye, and your ring finger and little finger is going to serve to block off the left nostril. So elbow out to open up through that chest. Exhale fully out through the left nostril. Inhale left, 2, 3, 4. Close off your nostrils, hold. Exhale right, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale deeply, 2, 3, 4. Close off the nostrils. Exhale left, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale left, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close off your nostrils. Exhale right, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale right, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close off the nostrils. Exhale left, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale deeply, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close off the nostrils, hold. Exhale right, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close off your nostrils. Hold the breath, just lower the right hand down to that right knee. And then breathe freely and easily through both nostrils, just noticing how you feel. That wonderful breath, just balancing out the left and right hemispheres of your brain. Just letting everything calm and come to stillness. And then gently blinking the eyes open, bringing the fingertips back by the side and do a little bit of a flow. If you're feeling like you're getting quite achy in your hip flexors, then you're welcome to just lean back before we carry on and do the flow and just kick your legs out a little bit, because sometimes your hip flexors can get a little bit achy, and then come back to seated. All right, because remember, we need to be steady and comfortable in our practice. So never, if you're still achy there, it's going to be distracting from what you're doing. So fingertips either side. Inhale, float the hands up. As you exhale, left hand to right knee, right hand behind you. Moving slowly. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, right hand to left knee, left hand behind you. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist. I'd like you to start moving to your own breath speed. Inhale, reaching up, lengthening. Exhale, coming into the twist. Just moving gracefully and easily and slowly. Doesn't matter if you've got like a gallery view, if you're seeing that we're not all moving together, it doesn't matter. We are not in a choreographed class. Just making sure your inhale, reaching up, maybe looking up to an imaginary sky there, and exhale all the way around into your twist. And keep lengthening and lifting on your twist, and using your exhale to go a little deeper into that twist. Just keep flowing. Maybe you'll go a little bit further each time you twist around. So the next time you take an inhale, reach all the way up to the sky and hold. Soften those shoulders, soften your face, your jaw. Take a nice deep breath and reach. And then as you exhale, come forward over those legs. And just holding this nice little forward bend, you might get a little bit of a relief on those hip flexors. Just release tension to invite in that relaxation. Breathing in, breathing out. On your next inhale, just walking the hands back nice and steady. Taking those fingertips behind you, leaning back into those arms. So fingertips pointing towards the bum, okay? And inhale, expand the chest. So you want to think about smiling from those collarbones, looking up, not allowing the head to fall completely back. So imagine you've got a piece of fruit between the chin and chest. So you've got some control and safety going on the back of the neck. Let's keep rolling the shoulders back and lifting the sternum up towards the sky. Feel that wonderful expansion in your lungs and across the chest. Keep lifting and opening up through that heart space. Breathing in, breathing out. If you haven't already, start to activate that Ujjayi breath. And on your next inhale, coming back nice and steady. Shaking off the arms. So you probably got a little bit of a stretch in the shoulder blades there. And sorry, in the shoulders there. Shake off those legs. And then bring the soles of the feet together. A little Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose just before we get started. Taking a hold of those feet. Remember, this is right at the beginning of your practice. So make sure you're not forcing yourself. Take a nice deep breath in. And then as you exhale, coming forward. Just a little forward bend. Head drops, chin drops to chest, relax back of the neck. Nice, even breaths, activating that Ujjayi breath. Trying to maintain that Ujjayi breath right the way throughout your practice. And just notice if you are still putting pressure on yourself in your yoga practice. We put pressure on ourselves all the time during our daily lives. Try and just notice if you put pressure on yourself unnecessarily in a yoga practice. Inhale, rise up. And as you exhale, take the hands back behind you and see if you can lift your hips off the floor. So it just doesn't have to be high. It's like a centimetre or so, but maybe you can lift higher. It's all entirely up to you. Lift, energize, working into those groin area, into the inner thighs. Take a nice deep breath in, lift a bit higher, and then exhale, slowly lower back down. And then move mindfully into a tabletop position. So all the way over, just making sure that your shoulders are directly underneath your wrists, so over the top of your wrists, and your hips are over the top of your knees. And just move intuitively once you arrive to tabletop, just swishing from side to side, getting rid of any cracks or cricks. Like me, my hips are always cracking and cricking. So yoga is always about what's good for you. It's not about everybody doing the same thing. That's why I always invite you to move quite intuitively when you come into certain postures, so you can do what feels good for you. All right, maybe you want to move forwards and back, side to side. Just a little bit more of moving intuitively. And then let's come into like a nice little bog standard cat-cow vinyasa connective. Vinyasa simply means placing together in a special way. So inhale, dropping the belly down, looking up, lifting the tailbone. Exhale, arch the spine. Take your time and really feel every single vertebrae along the spine. Inhale, lower back down. Exhale, arching through. Press through those hands, ground down. Couple more. Inhale, lower down. Think words like nurture and nourish. So you're nurturing and nourishing your physical body, which houses your soul, that light within. So just a couple more. Cat-cows. Taking your time, trying to extend that breath. Really feeling into your physical body. The next time you inhale, come back to a nice neutral spine, head and neck in line. Start to fire up that internal fire up with that Agni, that little flame within. So reaching out in front of you with your left hand and the right foot goes back. Reach from front to back. Inhale, reach a bit more. Exhale, squeeze that knee and elbow together. Now, if you don't feel like squeezing the elbow and knee together, just hold that extension. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze. Couple more. Inhale, moving slowly. Exhale. Inhale, reach. This is the last one. Exhale, squeeze. Okay, inhale, reach it nice and long, and then as you exhale, placing the hand and the knee down. Take the knees wide and take your time to press yourself back into Balasana Child Pose. Melt the heart towards the ground. Let's start to really take notice of the pauses at the end of the inhales and the end of the exhales. So as you're tuning into the inhales and exhales, try to tune also into the pause, the standing still, if you like. Breathing in, breathing out. And again, inhale, exhale. Inhale, rise back up to tabletop. Just creating that nice frame with your body. So wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Opposite side, so left hand reaches or right hand reaches, left foot goes back. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, squeeze. You can hold the extension if you want to, or you can work with the core. Inhale, reach, core and balance. Exhale, squeeze in. Mind-body connection. That's what really works. Any kind of movement with the body is that mind-muscle or mind-body connection. So just one more. Inhale and exhale. Use your Ujjayi breath. Inhale, reach nice and long. And then exhale, lower the hand and knee down. Take a little press back into Child's Pose. Now remember, Child's Pose is here for you anytime during your practice. You don't have to wait for me to invite you to go back there. Child's Pose is there for you to take to reset mind, to reset your body, and to reset your breath. Breathing in, breathing out. And again, inhale, exhale. And just gently walking the hands back. Coming to stand on those knees, we're going to come into gate pose and start some lateral movement to stretch out the side of the body. Stepping out with your left foot out to the side, coming up onto that knee. If you need to pad out that knee, pad out the knee. Take your time to get yourself in the right space. Okay, so if you want to turn around, if you've not got enough room to step out to the side of your mat, then that's absolutely fine. Turn around lengthways on your mat. And start reaching down your left leg. Inhale your right hand all the way up. As you exhale, little lateral bend, stretching out the right side of your body. So just reaching, taking your time and using your breath to edge your way down. Rolling your right shoulder back. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, float back to center. And as you exhale, take the right hand down and reach all the way over. Try to create length in the left side of your body. So push into the outer edge of that left foot. Create length. Use your waist, your side muscles, your intercostal muscles. Inhale, come all the way back up. And as you exhale, all the way down that leg. So I'm going to invite you to move intuitively now. Inhale up. And use your speed, your breath speed. Exhale over. Mind-body connection with the waist, with the core. Inhale and exhale. Remember, we're moving nice and slowly in our practice. Yes, we're flowing, but it's a slow flow tonight. Relax your shoulders, soften your face and your jaw. Breathing in and breathing out, getting everything married together. Perfect opportunity for moving meditation. And just holding, when you find that you're back into that full extension on the left side, your right hand is down, and your left fingertips are reaching, hold there and reach down the left side of your body. And if you can, maybe just lifting that left leg to find a long line. You'll start to feel the outside of that thigh fire up. If that feels too much, too intense, just leave the toe down. Take a nice deep breath in and reach away with the fingertips, push away with the heel. And then as you exhale, come back to sit on those heels, those calf muscles. Just come back, roll the shoulders. Notice how you feel down each side. And then inhale, rise up. And let's do the other side. So step out with the right leg. If you need to move yourself front to back, then you can do. Start to reach down this right leg. Inhale, float the left hand up. Exhale, reaching down that left leg. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, left hand goes down, right hand over. And again, inhale all the way up. exhale over. Moving nice and intuitively to your breath speed. Just flowing, pulling the navel back towards your spine. So you're really using your waist to just flow in this gate pose. Stretching out through that left side. Strong line in the right side. Soften your shoulders. The next time you bring your left hand down to the floor, we'll stay there. There is no rush. Reach all the way to create that beautiful diagonal line through the right side. Push into the outer edge of that right foot. You can keep the right foot down or start to lift it in line with the torso. Starting to fire up, a little bit of internal fire building up. But in a nurturing and slow way. Take a breath in, reach the heel away, the hand away. And then as you exhale, come back down with the foot and come back onto those knees. And then let's slowly make our way into downward facing dog. Place the hands down. If you are sideways on, turn to the front of your mat. Okay. And on your next inhale, exhale, press up and back into your downward facing dog. And again, I'm going to invite you to move intuitively in your down dog. Just remember a few little key points of really grounding down into the palms, drawing your forearms together but outwardly spiraling the upper arms. Trying to get a nice flatness of your spine, so length through the spine rather than rounding. It's more important to have a long spine than poker straight legs, so keep your knees bent if you need to. Just gently walk in your dog with the heels. Relax the neck. Let your head just drip down towards the ground. Maybe even just tucking the chin in slightly so you can kind of look towards the navel. That will help you to lengthen your neck. Remember, your neck is an extension of your spine. Breathing in, breathing out. Lovely. Inhale, exhale. On your next inhale, come down to wide knees and then exhale, press back to child's pose. And then inhale, come back to tabletop and exhale to down dog. That is your little flow. Okay, so from your down dog, inhale down to the knees, exhale, child's pose. And then inhale, tabletop. And back to down dog. Very simple connection, very simple flow. Take your time. Keep it going. 3 more. Make sure you're as mindful about the transition as you are the posture. Fully exhaling as you press into down dog, fully inhaling as you come back to the knees. Just flowing in celebration of the sun rising on the darkest day. Inhale and exhale. The next time you arrive in down dog, just stay there in downward facing dog, a couple of little paddles, and then really mindfully and slowly coming into standing forward fold, Uttanasana. And if that means coming to your knees and then stepping to the front of the mat, you can do that, or you can just tiptoe to the front of the mat. Find your own way to a standing forward fold. It doesn't matter how you get there. And just draping over those legs, let everything melt. Catch a hold of your alternate elbows and just dangle there, breathing in and breathing out. Really, we haven't like exerted ourselves, but already I can feel the warmth building. Already you can start to feel your little flame start to flicker inside. Shake the head, yes and no, but slowly. Okay, when I say the word shake, it sounds quite rigorous, but it's not. I don't need to be rigorous in that side to side with the head and up and down. Just loosening off into the neck. Breathing in, breathing out. And then drop the fingers or the hands down to the ground. Press firmly into those feet, so ground down through the feet. So like you want to make a footprint in the sand. Bend into the knees, engage through your core, and start to rise up to your stand, your mountain pose. Really slowly coming all the way up. And as you arrive to stand, just moving intuitively. Maybe you want to roll the shoulders. Maybe you want to loosen off in your neck. Maybe you feel like you want to do a few twists. Okay, side to side. Shake off the limbs. And we're going to do a variation of sun salutation that doesn't require us to do any knees, chest, chins, or any chaturangas. So we're going to go through a classical version, but we're just going to literally, at a certain point, step back to a down dog. So I want to take it really, really slowly. And I want you to think about flowing in celebration of the sun rising on the darkest day. And that's kind of what you want to be thinking about. And also relighting your fire a little bit. So standing at the front of the mat, wherever that is for you. I'm going to come to the side so you can see. Closing the eyes, standing tall and proud in your mountain pose, setting the foundation for your little flow, this sequence. Just going to really honor the sun right here, right now. Thinking back to, I asked you right at the beginning to think about what it meant to you, the sun coming back. Kind of maybe thinking about that again before we start this sun salutation. Salute to the sun, honoring the sun. Press firmly through those feet, feel lifted through the crown of the head. Let your breath be nice and even and balanced before we begin. Just notice the feelings and sensations in your body, how your energy seems to have shifted maybe, feeling the energy flow through the body. Take a nice deep breath in. Blink the eyes open as you exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Prayer right at the heart center. Inhale, reach the hands high, looking up beyond the thumbs or fingertips, maybe exploring a little back bend. And then as you exhale, bending all the way down, bend into those knees, flow over those legs, Uttanasana, forward bend, taking our time. Inhale into a half forward fold. And then as we exhale, just stepping back with that right foot all the way to the back of the mat, just softly lowering down to that knee. Inhale, float the hands up, just honoring the sun, welcoming it back. Deep breath in and reach through the fingertips. As we exhale this time, stepping back, lower the hands, step back to down dog, no plank pose. So mindfully and slowly, stepping that left foot back, finding your downward facing dog. Breathing in and breathing out. Mindfully inhale, floating the right leg behind you. Doesn't have to be high, maybe it's parallel to the floor, okay? And as you exhale, stepping that right foot through, softly lowering to the left knee. Stabilize before you float the hands up. Inhale. Again, thinking about the sun. Breath out as you sink maybe into that left hip flexor. Take another deep breath in, reach to the sky. And as you exhale, float the hands down and just propel yourself forward with that, those left toes. Step forward and fold over your legs. Bend into the knees if you need to. And then very slowly, mindfully, connected to your breath, reverse swan dive. Inhale all the way up. Gather that energy, sun energy, bring it all to your heart center. Take a breath in and a breath out. And we'll lead from the left side. Inhale, reach. Maybe your back feels a little bit more like it can open up a little bit. Exhale, float all the way down, forward bend. Inhale, half forward fold, lengthen through the torso. Exhale, bend into the knees, step back with the left foot, lower down to that left knee. So real mindful placement of that knee. Inhale, float the hands up, reach to the sky, soften the shoulders. Exhale, just dropping into the left hip flexor. Take a nice breath in as you reach your fingertips away. Exhale, float the hands down, step back, downward facing dog. Up and back. Take the time to step that right foot back. Take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale, float your left leg off the floor. Doesn't have to be high, it can be parallel. And as you exhale, step that left foot through, lower down to that right knee. Stabilizing before you float your hands up. Exhale, sinking into that right hip flexor a little bit. So if it doesn't feel good for you tonight, then don't sink. Take a breath in as you reach your fingertips to the sky. And as you exhale, float the hands down, step forward and fold over your legs. Make sure you've got nice softness going on in the face, the jaw. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a breath in and a breath out. You're going to do that again. One more each side. Just really thinking now that you've gone through it once, flowing a little bit more fluidly, but still really slowly. Inhale, reach nice and high. Exhale, dive it low. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, right foot steps back, placing it mindfully, lowering to that knee. Inhale, float the hands up. Exhale, sinking into the hip flexor a little bit. Take a breath in as you reach your fingertips high. Exhale, float the hands down, step back to downward facing dog. Checking in with your tummy. Have you still got the belly lock going on? Still like 50% pull in to activate that Uddiyana Bandha, that belly lock. Inhale, float your right foot. Exhale, step it through. Softly to left knee. Inhale, float those hands high. Energize. As we exhale, float the hands down, step forward and fold over your legs. Relaxing your neck. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Gather that energy. Exhale, bring it all to your heart center. Last time on the left. Inhale, float the hands high. Exhale, dive it low. Inhale, half forward fold, really lengthen through the torso. Exhale, stepping back with that left foot, lower to left knee. Inhale, float the hands high. Exhale, sink in gently into the hip flexor. Take a nice deep breath in, reach those fingertips. Exhale, float the hands down, step back, downward facing dog. Make it nice and slow, that transition. Take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale, floating that left leg. Exhale, step the left foot through, softly down to that right knee. Inhale, float your fingertips. Exhale, sinking into the hip flexor. Inhale, reaching one more time up to the sun. Exhale, float the hands down, step forward and fold over those legs. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up, gather that energy. And exhale, bring it all to the heart center. Close your eyes, press your thumbs firmly into that chest wall, that sternum there, and see if you can connect with your heartbeat. And as you stand in Tadasana mountain pose, feel lifted from the crown of the head, rooted from the feet. And maybe you can start to activate a little gentle sway forwards and back, side to side. Just feeling the energy flowing through the body from that nice slow variation of sun salutation. Breathing in, breathing out. Just feel your connection with the soles of the feet to the earth. Feel that lifting sensation from the crown of the head. Little micro bend in those knees so you're not locking out the knee joints. Soften your face, your jaw, maybe even turn the corners of your mouth up. Form a little smile on the face. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, blink the eyes open, shake off the arms, shake off the legs, grab a drink if you need to. We're going to move on to another little flow. Just literally going to couple together a couple of poses and just move nice and steady through them, just nurturing the body. Nice slow flow. Okay, so standing at the front of the mat, I'm just going to, for 1 second guys, I'm just going to turn my camera up a little bit because I feel like I'm just chopping my head off a lot. I think we have someone come in and mess about my camera, I'm sure, playing tricks on me. There we go. That's better. You can all see my head now. Right, let's stand at the front of the mat. I know this is a slow flow, but we can still do a chair pose. Sorry if you don't like chair pose. Let's light some fire. Inhale, lift the hands high. Exhale, sit back into your chair. It doesn't have to be really low. If you've got your feet separated, then try not to knock your knees. If you do want to practice chair with the toes together, heels slightly apart, then it's not too much of a problem if your knees come together. It's when you start to separate the feet, try not to knock those knees. Dip up through your tummy muscles, soften those shoulders, breathing in, breathing out. Let's just close our eyes for a second and see if you can see an internal light within. Maybe you've got your candle in view before you closed your eyes and you can perhaps see your candle. Just imagine that flame starting to burn with a little bit more brightness inside, that little light inside of you starting to flicker and burn a bit more. So you're starting to feel less snuffed out, less tired, exhausted from the year that we've just spent. Breathing in and breathing out. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, stand up and fold over those legs, nice and slow. Enjoy that release in the thighs. Shake the head, yes and no. Just loosen up into the neck and just step back into downward facing dog. So no chaturangas, no knees, chest, chin, just enjoying this little connection. Still vinyasa, so we are placing together these postures in a special way. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, float your right leg behind you again. Doesn't have to be high. Exhale, step it through. Just train track your feet so you feel nice and stable. And if you need to, go down onto that back knee. Make that choice, okay? Just holding here, breathing in, breathing out. So we're going to come into a flow between a high or a runner's lunge to a pyramid. And it doesn't matter if your back heel is not down. So inhale in your high lunge. Step the back foot closer if you need to. Exhale, press your hips back and find a pyramid to stretch out the hamstrings on the right side. Inhale, come forward. If you need to, grab your bricks. You can have your bricks either side, and you can use your bricks to move backwards and forwards through your runner's lunge into your pyramid. Inhale into your runner's lunge and exhale back into your pyramid. Try to soften your face, your jaw, your neck. Just slowly moving backwards and forwards. Nice little flow. See if you can lengthen out your breath as you're moving. The next time you inhale and come into a runner's lunge, remove the bricks if you've got them. Place the hands on the floor. Exhale, press back into downward facing dog. Just notice how one side feels compared to the other. Breathing in, breathing out. Tilting that tailbone up towards the sky, melting the heart towards the thighs. And let's do the other side. So inhale, floating your left leg behind you. And then exhale, stepping that left foot through. Finding your runner's lunge. You can shorten your stance if you need to. And again, have your bricks either side if you need to. So as you exhale, press back into a pyramid. Hips nice and square. And then inhale, coming forwards into your runner's lunge. Remember, this is a nice, slow, mindful flow. So use the props if you have them. Even if it's just one brick, you could have one brick for the support. Just backwards and forwards, runner's lunge to that pyramid pose. Mindfully and gently. Using your Ujjayi breath, remembering that your breath is your anchor to here and now. Forwards and back. The next time you inhale and come forward into your runner's lunge, if you have bricks either side, take them away, hands down, exhale, back into downward facing dog. Paddle away. Inhale, lower the knees down, nice and wide, toes together. Exhale, press the hips back. Melt the heart towards the ground, finding your Balasana, child's pose. Chance to reset mind, body, and breath. Chance to come back to the intention of the practice, especially this yang practice that we're doing at the moment, this flow. All about just trying to reignite your little light. Release tension to invite in relaxation. One more little standing sequence if you like, just two postures that we're going to string together like we did before we start to come down to the ground. So inhale, rise up to that tabletop. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Take your time. Our little connection is going to be between a warrior two and a peaceful warrior. So just trying to find that fluidity and that grace. And just really think about flowing mindfully. So you can just find that moving meditation. So inhale, floating your right leg behind you, split dog, slowly. And as you exhale with slow and precision, stepping that right foot through, set your back foot 90 degrees, and then spiral yourself. You can use the knee to just bring yourself back up into a warrior two. Breathe in, breathe out. As you breathe out, see if you can sink a bit more into those feet. Inhale, turn the front palm. Exhale, back into your peaceful warrior. Inhale, come back to warrior two. And then exhale, back into your peaceful warrior. So just find that little flow. Inhale. And exhale. Keep that flowing. So if you've got shoulder issues, guys, you're welcome to just pop your hands on your hips. You can still make that movement with your hands on your hips. Back into your peaceful warrior, and then come back to a nice straight spine. So remember to be kind to yourself. So one more peaceful warrior wherever you are. Inhale, come back to your warrior two. And then let's move through. We're not going to do a vinyasa. Take the hands either side of that right foot, step back to downward facing dog, and just paddle out the heels. Your right leg is probably going to be feeling like you tightened that thigh muscle a little bit. So just paddle it out to release that right thigh, stretch out the right calf. Separate your shoulder blades, feel the length in your spine. And let's do the left side. Inhale, float your left leg behind you. As you exhale, step that left foot through. 90 degrees with the right foot. Using the knee to help you up if you need to. Spiraling all the way up into the warrior two. Double check your front knee is stacked over the ankle. You've got a nice right angle bend in that front knee. Inhale, turn the front palm. Exhale, back to your peaceful warrior. Inhale, come back to your warrior two. And then exhale. Keep reaching. Just moving nice and slowly from one posture to the other. Just a couple more. Close your eyes, but that might affect your balance, so be careful. Feel like you want to have a go. You'll notice how your proprioceptive muscles or nerves and nerves endings in your feet will start to fire up and make you wobble a little bit if you close your eyes. So the next time you arrive back into warrior two, we'll all wait. Make sure everyone is there. Take a nice breath in, and then as you exhale, float that right arm around and step back into your downward facing dog. Enjoy the release in the left leg. Just padding the heels, breathing in, breathing out. And slowly come down to those knees. We're going to come into pigeon pose. So you bring your right knee to your right wrist and see if you can scoot the right heel or foot towards the left wrist. Now, if full pigeon is not for you, then you can come into deer pose, which is whereby you bring this left knee round to the side. You sit with your legs like I am doing. If you want to do full pigeon, your left leg is behind you, and use the bricks and the equipment. Pop a brick underneath your right bum cheek, so that will enable you to maneuver your right foot into a more comfortable space. And remember, this is about slow nurturing. It's not about this strong, fiery vinyasa practice. We're slowing down. So find your pigeon. We're going to flow. So taking your fingertips, like a spider's legs. As you exhale, you're going to float your chest down. And as you inhale, you're going to round your back up again. All right. So find a rolling of the spine. Exhale down. Inhale, press through your fingertips. Your head comes up last. Okay. Exhale down. Inhale, rise up. Just a couple more, and then we're going to rest in sleeping pigeon. Exhale down. Inhale, rise. Last one. Exhale, roll down, elbows out as you roll it down, and then inhale, press all the way back up again. The next time you exhale, hold your sleeping pigeons, come all the way down. Place a bolster in front of you if you want to. You can come on your forearms, all right? And just hold here and breathe. You imagine the impact of the winter solstice less than 100 years ago, when we lived life primarily in natural light, when we were sustained by the living fire of candlelight and bonfires, when in some places in the world, such as Scandinavia, a day might consist of as much as 23 hours of darkness, and we were sustained by celebration, a 12-day festival of Yule and other rituals of its kind, in which we came together and made merry and honoured the promise of the lengthening of the days ahead. Very slowly on your next inhale, just starting to walk the hands back. And it's up to you. You can come into a tabletop and release that right leg, or you can go into a three-legged dog and release that right leg. You choose what feels good for you. So either press back to that left knee and take the right leg behind you, bend and straighten it, circle the knee, create that release, or you can be in your split dog and do the same, whatever feels good for you. Just get that blood flowing back into that right leg, maybe circling the ankle, bending and straightening, opening up into the hip, and then slowly lower that right foot back down, paddle out the heels. Notice how one side feels compared to the other. And then softly coming down to those knees again, we'll move to the left side. So if you're using a brick, move the brick to the other side. Bringing the left knee towards the left wrist and scooting the left foot towards the right side of the mat. Taking the right leg behind you. Again, coming into deer pose if that feels better for you. Popping a brick underneath the left bum cheek, fingertips to the floor. And we're going to start to flow up and down the length of the spine. Take a nice breath in, lengthen, exhale, come forward. And then inhale, come all the way back up. Last thing to come up is the head. And then exhale, roll through the spine again. Inhale, press back up. Really, really connecting with the spine and the rolling of the spine. Just a couple more. Exhale, heart coming down to the earth. Inhale, rising back up again. Flowing through. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. This next exhale, come all the way down. Use the equipment nearby to help you to remain steady and comfortable in your posture. Breathing in, breathing out. This time is very much a time for release as well as anything else. Powerful time for release and also sowing seeds. So there's a little bit of hip work that we've been doing in the standing sequences, what we just did, and pigeon pose. Working with those hips, the junk drawer of our emotion, just encouraging that release of stuff that we've stored that no longer serves us. Use your out breath as a release, as a letting go. The winter solstice is calling us home, home to the cycles, to the rhythms of life's sacred flow. She is calling us deep into the dark cave of our own being, into the deep stillness where our soul resides. As we breathe into our fears, in that very moment of deepest darkness, the light is reborn and life renews. The cycles are but the flow of life itself, to which our souls are entwined. The winter solstice is the last point in the sacred wheel of the year, where we reach the darkest point and the light is reborn and we move again into the fullness of light. And these points remind us that we are part of life and always connected, that even in the darkest moments there is light. It's a lovely piece of writing by Saul David Ray. As you inhale next time, just walking the hands back. Choosing how you're going to release that left leg. It can be your split dog, or it can be like a tabletop and taking the left leg behind, just moving intuitively, releasing that left leg, however you want to, circling the knee, opening the hip, feeling that flow, blood flow back into that limb, breathing in, breathing out. Oh, my hips are clicking all over the place. And then wherever you are, whether you're on your knees or split dog, finding a downward facing dog, exhale. Enjoy the length that you're creating up the back of your legs, your spine, drawing the breath nice and deep into that lower belly. And slowly lowering down onto those knees. I'm just going to do a little heart melting pose. So knees stacked underneath the hips. I'll turn to the side. It's a little similar to a child's pose, but you're keeping the knees as the hips stacked over those knees, and you're going to start to walk your hands out in front of you. You can use a bolster if you've got one handy. Use a bolster to place underneath your chest to bring the floor to you if you want to. If your back is quite open, you can do it without the bolster, but just melting the heart down and finding your Anahatasana heart melting pose. Keeping those hips stacked above those knees. Breathing in, melting on every exhale. And again, inhale and exhale. Two more breaths here. Last breath. So wherever you are on your next inhale, pressing yourself back up to a tabletop. Perhaps you feel compelled to arch the back into a cat stretch. Stretch it out. And as you inhale, come back to a nice neutral spine. Going to come to threading the needle. So you're going to leave your left hand grounded. Inhale, float your right hand up. Exhale, thread the needle. Coming onto the right side of the face. Again, you can bring the floor to you. If the floor feels too far away, pop the cushion there. Rest the right side of your face on the cushion. You're drawing your hips back towards the heels and reaching those right fingertips through to the left side. Keep thinking about lengthening through your torso. Lengthen and lengthen some more. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, unwind. Reach your right fingertips all the way up to the sky. Exhale, floating the right hand down. Just moving your equipment if you had that there. We do the other side. So right hand stays grounded. Inhale, float your left fingertips to the sky. Slowly threading the needle to the opposite side. So left hand threads through. Come into the left side of your face, drawing the hips back. You can bring the floor to you. Pop a cushion underneath the left side of your face. Keep lengthening through the torso. Just gently guiding those hips back. Keep reaching those left fingertips through to the right side. Nice, even breaths. On your next inhale, unwinding all the way, reaching your left fingertips high. And then exhale, floating your hand down, moving your equipment out of the way. Just come to sit on your bum. Dandasana staff pose. Just sitting, your legs out in front of you, moving the fleshy parts of the bum cheeks to the sides. You sit on those hard sitting bones. Take a nice deep breath in as you reach your fingertips, look up, and then as you exhale, leading with your heart, come over those legs. Just a couple of breaths here. Just noticing the feelings and sensations in the back body, so down the back of the legs, your back, your neck. And you know, if you need to, you can bend the knees. You don't have to have poker straight legs. If you get particular discomfort in the back of your legs, you can even place your bolster underneath the knees. This is still going to be beneficial for you. This nice little seated forward bend. Breathing in and breathing out. On your next inhale, just walking the hands back. And then just leaning back into those hands, slide your heels a bit closer toward your bum. Little counter pose for that forward bend. So lifting those hips into a reverse tabletop. Doesn't have to be high. Might get a nice shoulder stretch there. Keep energizing. Breathe in. Lift a bit higher. And then exhale, slowly lower the bum down. Just coming into a constructive rest posture. So you're going to lower down onto your back. Keep your knees bent, soles of the feet on the floor. And just rest here for a moment. Just rest here in this constructive rest. Just allowing that energy from that slow flow practice to just circulate the body. And we're just going to start to transition into a frame of mind of moving from this yang style practice into a yin style practice. So if you feel like your body temperature is going to drop, now would be the time to just reach and grab your jumper and just kind of pop it on now, or your socks. I'm going to come into our yin focus, which is all going to be focused on the kidney meridian and the urinary bladder meridian. Breathing in, breathing out, just allowing that energy to flow. And then just rolling over onto your side and pressing yourself up to seated. Just getting ready for our time to sit, our time to nurture, our time to restore. So if you need to, pop in. Everyone all right? Do you need to grab a drink? Does anyone need to go to the toilet quickly? We can do that because we're just transitioning from our yang into our yin. And making sure that you're going to be nice and warm. So as you're getting ready, I'll just quickly chat. Yin, very different. I think most of you have done yin before. Traditional Chinese medicine. In traditional Chinese medicine, winter is a time of rest, reflection, and restoration and storage. And our ability to work and to rest is balanced by our innermost organs, the kidneys. And the kidneys and the urinary bladder are linked together. One is yang, one is yin. All of the organs that are considered the organs within the body with traditional Chinese medicine are all either one is yin and one is yang, and they're paired together. So at this time of year, we tend to feel a little bit depleted, a little bit mentally exhausted, maybe physically or emotionally exhausted too. And the qi, or the yen, which is Jen, is considered to be stored in the kidney. It's the vital life essence. So this is a nice opportunity for us to start to work. You might need the toilet throughout, guys. If you do, then I'll know you've gone off there. And it's qi that moves our planet. It's qi energy, or in the yang style practice, we refer to it as prana, but in a yin style practice, which comes from traditional Chinese medicine, they refer to it as qi. It's qi that enables the sun to shine, the wind to blow, the elements to exist, and for human beings to breathe and to be. And what we do is we work with the qi flow, the meridian lines. If you've heard about acupuncture, that is what they're literally tapping into the same meridian lines as what yin is said to tap into. So that's what we're going to do today. So you're going to need firm cushions or a bolster for this first posture. It's going to be called supported fish with a bit of a neck release. So I'm going to place, if you've got your cushions, grab your cushions. If you haven't got a bolster, you'll need a brick as well. And you're going to support, you're going to be elevated along the spine. Okay. So actually have your bolster so that it just comes where your bra strap would be. I've got no men on the class. So where your bra strap would be. So lie down on there and then grab the brick and just place the brick kind of on its end. So that one of the corners of the edges of the brick is right where the nape of your neck is, where the neck connects to the skull. And just have some support there. So you can see my brick is like balanced on its edge there. My chest is elevated so I'm into a supported bridge. If you feel comfortable, you can extend your legs out and just splay them out to the side, let your feet flop. If that doesn't feel good on the lower spine, bend your knees, feet to the floor, let your knees fall in together, and just let your arms just rest out by the side of you and just find this supported fish. And you're getting a little bit of a stimulation right at the nape of the neck there, where the neck meets the skull, as is the start of the kidney meridian line. So just find your place of comfort, steady your knees, okay? I'm going to chat to you, I'm going to watch you on the screen, and I'm going to chat to you while you're holding. I'm going to mind the time. So remember, recalling the principles of a yin practice is to find your edge, okay? If you feel discomfort, if you're really not getting on with that brick, then forget about it. Just pop, don't have the edge on the neck, just have the brick supporting your head if you're not getting on with the stimulation at the back of your neck, okay? Be steady and comfortable in your posture. So we find our edge, we resolve to remain still, and I will mind the time. Release tension to invite in relaxation. Release fear to yield courage. Release resistance so you can flow around the mountain in your way. Release indecision so you can cultivate more certainty, and release busyness to encourage healing. This posture is just adding gentle pressure to your urinary bladder lines along the spine. And then you're getting a gentle stimulation at the base of the skull. If you need to, you can rock the head from side to side to massage that point to get a greater release and stimulation of the meridian line. But if you're happy, just you feel like you're getting some stimulation there, just hold it nice and still. As I said before, each meridian has a yin and a complementary yang pair. The kidneys are paired with the bladder. Very slowly, just staying where you are for a moment. Start to transition slowly. We're just going to have a little reset or a little rebound, if you like. You're going to take your hands and interlace your fingers behind your head. So you can lift your head up and let it hang in the hands, the cradle that you've made with your hands. Chin comes towards chest. Now I'm just going to take 5 to 8 breaths, just holding that there, but just really try to, it's a gentle lift. Let the head hang, relax your jaw and your facial muscles. 5 to 8 breaths. And when you've done your 5 to 8 breaths, keeping your eyes closed, just moving your way onto your side, get all of your equipment out of the way, and then very slowly come onto your knees. We're going to start to do a little toe stretch, because this is where your kidney line begins and your bladder line ends in the toes. So when you've done your 5 to 8 breaths, just uncradling your head. Okay, you should still have your brick behind you to support your head. And then moving onto your side, take your time to come up mindfully. Try to avoid looking around your space that you're in. Stay in your little yin yoga zone. And you've got a couple of options, because this toe stretch can be a little bit intense. So you can either, if you've got quite supple toes, if you like, you can tuck the toes under and sit back on the heels like that. But that can be quite intense. So to take the intensity off, you can lean forward onto bricks. All right. So it's up to you. Find what's going to work for you. You might, when you're playing around with your edge, you might start off like this and think, oh, I'm going to be here for about 3 minutes, guys. So you might think, oh no. And then once you come forward, you'll take a little bit of pressure off those toes. But this is all just to start to simulate where the kidney line begins and the urinary bladder line ends. So in those toes, there's a lot of acupressure points in the feet. So just finding your edge, and then I will mind the time. Close your eyes and just focus on the breath. A nice even breath in and out. Let your breath be your anchor. Yin is more challenging for the mind, to keep your mind still, especially this time of year, to really try to remain in your space. If it becomes really intense and you need to come out, then just come out and rest in child's pose, okay? Make sure you're listening to your body. These meridian lines are just like the nadis that I talk about in Yang. They are invisible pathways through which our energy flows. Like I said, in Yin, our energy is known as Qi. In Yang, it's Prana. You can think of this meridian system, as a comprehensive network of rivers of energy that interconnects the tissues and the organs of your body. And the strength and healthy flow of this qi through the meridian system is essential to your overall sense of harmony and balance. The last 30 seconds, guys. Just breathing evenly and deeply, listening to your body. So leaning forward if you're not already, taking the weight into your arms, untuck the toes and tap out the feet. So just tapping out that energy. So gently tapping out the feet. Release your shins as well a little bit. And then we're going to gently move our way into our next posture, which is butterfly. So just coming around to sit on your bum. Should feel, you're either swearing at me right now or you quite like that posture. I don't know. It's a Marmite one. So you're going to come into butterfly with a little bit of acupressure. So the first point of the meridian, kidney meridian line, I'm going to be here for about 5 minutes. So I want you to make sure that if you need something sort of in front of you, that it's by your side. For the first minute, you're going to not need that. You just want it by your side. You're going to take your thumbs. Your feet can be in more of a diamond shape, guys. It doesn't have to be like a yang practice. It can be more of a diamond shape. And if you take your legs into more of a diamond shape, it really works into your inner thighs a bit more, which is where your kidney meridian line travels along. Okay, so you're going to take your with firm but gentle pressure beneath the second toe, under where the ball of the foot is. So the second toe, just where your ball of the foot is. So gentle but firm pressure with each foot, and just press there. And we're just going to hold this for a minute. And after a minute, I'm not going to chime the Tibetan bowl. I'm going to just indicate for you to let go of that pressure and totally surrender into a forward butterfly, using your bolster if you need to. So take a nice breath in, and then off you go. Just pressing gently but firmly the second toe under where the ball of the foot is. So I've chosen to work with kidney and urinary bladder meridian lines because they're intrinsically linked to water. And water, the element of water, is intrinsically linked to winter. Your kidney meridian begins in the little toe of each foot. It travels through the sole, the arch, inside of the knee, the thighs, enters the torso near the tailbone. It continues up along either side of your spine, connecting internally with your bladder and your kidneys to your throat, ending at the root of your tongue. So just releasing that pressure now with the thumb. And if you want to, take in your bolster, so you're bringing the floor to you, and just kind of hugging your cushion or your bolster. You can put it on its end, you can fold it. Mine won't really fold, but if you've got a squashy one, it will fold a bit more. But support yourself in this butterfly. Stretching, lengthening, breathing into the reservoirs of life. Very, very slowly. You've been there for about 4 minutes, guys. So really slowly, eyes still closed, just backing away from butterfly, helping your knees together. And you're going to come into a rebound, which is going to be a little mini cheeky Shavasana. So give your knees a cuddle first of all. Squeeze the knees in, and then very slowly and mindfully making your way onto your back. We have about 30 seconds just resetting in this rebound posture, which is a Shavasana. So just lying down on your back. Take the feet out to mat width apart, let the feet flop out to the side, open the palms to face the sky. And just totally surrender the weight of your body into the support of the mat, into the support of the earth. Just resetting the body. Rebound. Okay guys, so the next posture is called pontoon. And if you've got your bolster or your cushions, we're literally going to have that elevating just underneath, taking your bolster or your cushions just underneath that lower back. Okay, if you need to have some height for the back of your head because it's too intense, grab your pillows and pop them there. And you can either have your feet extended out like you would do in Shavasana or into a butterfly. So your hips are elevated and you're stretching out. It's quite intense. If you take your legs all the way out, it's quite intense. So you can either bend your knees, have the soles of the feet on the floor, or you can take butterfly legs, soles of the feet together, knees out to the side. If you take butterfly legs, you're going to get the added stimulation into the inner thighs there, where your kidney, the meridian line flows for your kidney. And you're going to create compression in your lower back. So even if it's just a couple of cushions to lift up that area, if you haven't got a bolster, it doesn't matter, you don't have to be so high. And then just let your arms rest by the side of the body. And if your head feels too far away from the ground, then definitely grab pillows as well. Pop it underneath, pop your pillows underneath the head. And just holding in pontoon. Should be feeling compression in that lower back. And lengthening into the inner thighs if you've got your feet in butterfly. And just completely allow your body to surrender with every exhale. This kidney bladder pair is the foundation of balance for all other organ pairs. The pair is our storehouse of vital energy. So right at the beginning, the Jing, or essence, is said to be stored within our kidneys according to traditional Chinese medicine. Jing is said to be the foundation of all life. And some believe it to be connected to our ancestry and our inherited constitution. Our parental Jing, the energy stores that we are born with, are constantly being depleted simply by living. And the additional stress and illness that we undergo through life consumes your prenatal Jing. But we can accumulate more Jing, if you like, through mindful living and practices like Yin Yoga. Jing is said to be the key to longevity, long life. And that's why stimulating our kidney qi and replenishing our Jing is so important. So allow your lower back to soften and relax. So very slowly, wherever your legs are, whether they're in butterfly or extended out, bend your knees, soles of the feet on the floor. Lift up gently to remove your pillows or your bolsters from underneath that lower back. And then slowly lower down to a constructive rest posture. Just knees are bent, feet flat on the floor. Just taking a couple of breaths there. And then very gently bringing your knees into your chest to Apanasana just for a little reset, a little restore, a little rebound. And do whatever your body's calling for you to do. You can stay in stillness there. Maybe you feel like you want to rock from side to side. Just listen to what your body is calling for you to do. And then from there, very slowly, rolling onto your side, we're going to come up to seated and we'll start a sequence of 3 postures, seated postures. We'll be working on one side with a 3 and then the other side. So once you've arrived to seated, guys, you might want to turn lengthways on your mat, or if you've got the room, just taking the legs wide, coming into half dragonfly. So what we're going to do, you're going to V-shape your legs. Remember, they don't have to be really wide apart. They can be like a 45-degree if that's good for you. We're going to start to fold over the left leg first. So you're going to take a nice deep breath in and start to turn over the left leg. This is where you can use bricks and props, guys. So pillows, cushions, you can just pop them on top of that leg if you like. Build it all up. Okay, so remember, this is not about, taking yourself beyond that edge. Take a nice breath in, turn towards that left leg, and then slowly come down over that left leg. This is really stimulating the lines in the back body and the inner thighs. When our kidney qi is balanced, we're able to access our innate gentleness, openness, and inherent wisdom. And the kidneys are associated with your willpower, your ambition, and your level of energy. which can feel quite depleted this time of year. Another great reason to, work with the kidney meridian line. When you're out of balance with your kidney chi, you feel the emotion of fear. And then in this state, we have trouble completing tasks. We have less energy, we have less drive, less enthusiasm. Perhaps even we might feel a bit disconnected from ourselves and a diminished sense of self-worth and power. Just keep reminding yourself of those principles of the practice, the three main ones, which is taking yourself to your natural boundary and then making that resolution to stay still. And then I will mind the time. And every time the mind wants to wander off, just herd it back to the breath. Keep your body and your mind soft. Keep those large muscle groups soft and relaxed so that the work you're doing gets a chance to work on a much deeper level. The fascia, deep muscle fascia, deeper than those superficial muscles. So very, very slowly, taking the hands to the floor to help you press back up really slowly. And then turning back to center. And we're going to slide our legs together. I'm going to come into half shoelace. So just taking the stuff that you've got away, just sliding slowly the legs together. And you take your right leg over into half shoelace. We're not going to, so in a yang practice, you probably hear this called Gomukhasana cow face. It's called shoelace in yin. So what you can do to help you with this is you can actually pad out the knees underneath the knee if you want to. So you can pop a cushion there. So, if you've got that connection already, the knee to the knee, then that's great. But you can pad out that knee. And you can also place a blanket underneath the top of the foot if you want to. And then if you want to, you can even bring another cushion on top of this knee because you're going to come forward. So take a nice deep breath in. And then as you exhale, fold forward over that knee. Relax your face, your head. Just fold out. See if you can just surrender. Sometimes you can use a brick. Pop it there on top so that your forehead is rested on top of the brick. Use as much equipment as you can to feel supported. Making sure that you can feel the stimulation though. Feel a little bit of compression or lengthen out that lower back, along the back of that leg into the hips. All the while stimulating these energy channels by stretching or compressing the targeted areas of the body. Be passive, no strain, no pushing. Just let your body be your guide. Just really slowly coming up from that half shoelace. Okay, we're going to come into a reclined deer pose. And as you unravel that right leg, you take it around to the side. Bend the left leg so the shin is parallel to the top of the mat. The right leg goes around to the side. And this is where you build up behind you with pillows or a bolster. I turn myself to the side. So you've got your left leg in front, your right leg to the side. Take your forearms onto your bolster. You're reclining into this deer pose. Okay, so move the legs so you feel some stretching, compression going into that right hip there. So internally rotating the right hip, feeling your heart space open. You can build up as much as you want to recline into this reclined deer pose. And just let your head just sit so you feel no strain or pressure in the neck. Definitely don't have your neck dangling back or your head dangling back. You're going to put too much strain on the back of your neck. So just holding yourself with your forearms. If you feel like you can go to the floor with your forearms, you're welcome to. But I'd suggest maybe just having some cushions or bolsters to bring the floor to you. Just experiment, find what feels right for you before you make that resolution to hold still. So you should actually be feeling sort of more stretching, lengthening into that right groin there. If you're not, kind of move that right leg so you feel some stretching, some stimulation into that right groin. Your neck should feel comfortable. If it's not comfortable with you being in your forearms, lengthen your arms and just have your hands behind you, lean back into the arms. Just slowly making your way back up. You can swing your legs slowly round in front. A little windscreen wiper side to side with those knees. We'll take a little reset before we do all that little sequence of 3 postures on the other side. So just lie yourself down. Maybe you want to put a pillow behind the head if you want to. Just a little Shavasana, 20, 30 seconds, just resetting the body. Just noticing the feelings and sensations after that sequence of 3 postures. Very slowly rolling over onto your favorite side and then gently pressing yourself back up to seated, taking that dragonfly. I'm going to take ourselves and face over the right leg. So grabbing your bolster, your cushions, bricks, whatever you need. And remember, you don't need to take your legs really wide apart and be 45 degrees. Just go to your edge. Take a nice deep breath in, start to turn over that right leg. And then as you exhale, fold. If you don't find that you need the bolster, you might want to get a brick and just use that to pop your forehead onto. And that might be where feels good for you. Just remembering that yin is a practice of self-care. Of such a modern day yang culture. Doing, moving, planning, accomplishing. And that's become the norm. And this can really have a detrimental effect on us physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And this yin approach is an approach of compassionate awareness, paired with mild sensation and blended with the relaxation. It gives you the opportunity to observe, to nurture, to soothe, and to calm yourself. Let your breath be your anchor. Let your breath continue to bring you back to here, to now. And very slowly, just backing away from that right leg, coming all the way back up. Coming into a half shoelace, this time taking the left leg over the right. So helping those legs back together again. And then taking that left leg over, so stacking the knees. And again, you can use the cushion between the knees to create that support. A blanket underneath the top of that left foot, and more cushioning as you fold forward. Take a nice deep breath in, and then as you exhale, fold. Just using this time to honor the pause. Honoring the pause before we expand once again. Balancing out your energies. Getting unstuck from any winter stagnation. Slowly backing away from half shoelace. Come into the last of the sequence on this side. Just removing your equipment, placing it behind you, ready for our reclined deer pose. I'm going to bring the right shin to the front and the left leg to the side into your deer, and then building up that support behind you, so you can either use your arms outstretched if that feels like enough, or onto the forearms on that build up of the cushions. So you'll have a good old stretch going into that left groin there, down the inside of that left thigh, just relaxing, opening up through the heart space there. Close the eyes, focus on the breath. And again, if you feel any discomfort, maybe on the inside of that left foot or on the right foot, then you can use your blankets. Always just looking for where you can create more ease, more opportunity to be steady and comfortable in your practice. So very slowly coming back up from being reclined in that deer pose. A little reset. Just first of all, swinging the legs around in front, a little windscreen wiper with those knees from side to side. And we're just going to start to move into just a couple of restorative postures, some nice yummy restorative postures. So get loads of pillows, loads of blankets. We're going to our first one is going to be supported child's pose. So I really want you to make sure that when you're in your child's pose, you've got support under your knees, your feet. You are held with your cushions or your bolsters underneath the stomach there. Your knees are wide and your toes are coming together. Sometimes when you take your knees wide, you feel pressure on the insides of those knees. So you can place blankets either side so it pads out your mat. So you feel really padded out, and then you're just going to literally, and if you want to, you can grab your blanket and put your blanket behind you, pop the blanket over you, and build up the bolster with cushions, but make sure you're really comfortable, really warm, and then just coming down and being fully supported in this restorative child's pose. So get your blanket, you might even want to pull it all the way over your head, moving into, I want you to be fully supported. Restorative is literally the equipment is holding you. So the bolster, the cushions, everything, the blankets are just holding you. So blankets under your arms, bolster under your body, maybe blankets under your feet. So you're going to get a real gentle abdominal organ massage, just caring for that digestive system. Just totally surrendering, totally releasing into this supported child's pose. When days rush past in a blur, may you pause to receive the simple gifts that life generously offers. When you are overwhelmed, may you rest in the gentleness of your own heart. When you are feeling hopeless, may your imagination hold a torch to unseen possibilities. When your mind is drowning in details, may spaciousness arise, connecting you to the sacred mystery that you are. When you are exhausted, may you be refreshed by vibrant life forces always present within and around you. When you are overcome with grief, may precious tears bathe your heart with salty buoyancy and comfort. When the world brushes you with harshness, may you realize that we're all works in progress and life itself is a learning curve. When nothing seems to be going your way, may you make room for the unknown, finding patience with your unfolding life. When you are disheartened by the suffering in the world, may you find the courage and strength to stand for what you know is good. When you believe that you are not good enough, may you discover your inherent value and place in the family of all things. May you receive earth's bounty to nourish your body, kindness to nourish your heart, wisdom to nourish your mind, and wonder to nourish your soul. Very slowly, I'm going to start to back away from the support of the cushions and the bolsters. I'm going to start to move slowly into a supported belly down twist. So just gently coming back in a way out of that child's pose. As much as I probably think most of you want to stay there, you're going to grab a brick, pop it on its end like so, and then pop the bolster so it's lent up. So you've got the bolster like a diagonal shape. You're going to sit sideways on to the bolster and just have your legs, just your feet pointing out to the left, knees over to the right. You can take a nice deep breath in and turn. And you can pile up the bolster, the cushions as much as you want. So you can bring the actual support closer to you. Remember, restorative yoga is all about being supported in the posture. So you can literally melt yourself into the support. So you can have blankets either side and build up the side if you want to. Take a nice deep breath in and then leaning belly onto that bolster or cushion. And so you want to just find a nice spot for your arms. Maybe you want to have your hands just underneath your head there or down by the side. But just feel like you can just completely let go. And ordinarily, if you were in a full restorative class, these postures would be held up to 20 minutes a time. So if you manage to go to one of my beautiful friend Eleanor's full restorative classes, she holds postures for up to 20 minutes at a time. Just totally sink and surrender. This is a wonderful, rejuvenating spine posture. So it's really rejuvenating your spine. It's calming down your nervous system, really helping to release stress and tension in the muscles along the sides and the midsection of your torso. Just let go. Use your out breath to just keep letting go. Very slowly, taking your hands to the floor, guide yourself back up, unravel yourself, come back to center, and gently move all of your support through the opposite side. You don't need to move the body too much, just moving your support. Set your little support up there with the brick on its end, your cushions or your bolster all piled up. And then take your feet to the right side. Take a nice breath in, facing the body over the support, leaning and surrendering. Twisting to the opposite side. Again, if you want to pop your blanket over your head, just completely be held by the cushions, the bolsters, the bricks that you're using. very, very slowly, mindfully, taking your hands to the ground just to help you unwind from this supported twist, coming all the way up, slowly, mindfully, just winding, just coming down onto your back nice and steady, just to take a little reset once more in a constructive rest posture. So knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor, just allowing your spine to just settle. Breathing in, breathing out. Let's take 4 more breaths here, just flat on your back. And then we're going to come into a seated posture to find a nice comfortable position to do a little bit of Tratak meditation, candle gazing, which is then going to lead us into a quiet Shavasana. So from here, making your way in your own time and your own way up into seated once you feel ready, and there's no rush. And perhaps thinking about dimming your lights and bringing a candle. If you have got a small table, if you haven't, some like your sturdy bricks will help to bring your candle more to the level with your eyesight. It doesn't matter if it's not the level of your eyesight, just bringing your candle to where you can, if you can get it to eyesight, great. If not, no worries. And then once you're set up with your candles, that's cool. Yeah, Katie, brilliant. Just switching your lights off so you can really hone in and focus on the candle. Okay, so I'm having a look at you all. Give you some time to set up with your candle. So Tratak meditation doesn't just have to be on a candle. It can be gazing at something specific, but Tratak is amazing with candles because it stimulates the pineal gland at the back of your brain, back of your skull there. And it's just a really lovely way to meditate. So once you're all ready, I'm just going to click through and make sure everyone's ready with their candle. Perhaps just dimming your lights. Lovely. And getting comfortable. So if you don't like sitting cross-legged, then don't force yourself to sit cross-legged. Most meditation is done with your eyes closed. This Tratak meditation is very different. So this is where you keep your eyes open and you're focusing on, in this case, the candle flame. All right. So just getting yourself to where you feel comfortable, just taking your gaze to the flame. You can see that most of you have dimmed your lights now. Start to stare at the flame. Let the candle and the flame be your main focus of your mind. And back is nice and straight. You shouldn't be feeling any tension anywhere else though, like in the hip flexors or in the lower back. So make sure that your physical body isn't distracting you from the meditation. Just hold your eyes steady, even if you feel a little bit distracted or bored. You may even find that your eyes will water a little bit as you're maintaining the gaze on the flickering flame. Just hold steady. Sensations will pass. If you blink or get distracted, just return your attention to the flame. As you gaze at the candle, this flame that came from lighting your sun candle at the beginning of this evening, just focus on the sensation of light flowing into you with each inhalation. As time passes, the room around you will fade until your only awareness is the flame. Have a little practice of closing the eyes and keeping the flame in the mind's eye. Initially, you might find that you'll lose the flame, so don't get frustrated. Just open the eyes and just fix your gaze on the flame. Be drawn into its beauty, into its warmth, into its energy. Try to close the eyes once more and hold the flame in the mind's eye. When you feel you can hold the flame in the mind's eye, just gently take yourself onto your back and find Shavasana. And see if you can keep that flame in the mind's eye. The flickering, beautiful flame in the mind's eye. Cover yourself up with a blanket. See if you can hold the flame in the mind's eye. As you lay yourself back into Shavasana corpse pose, just making sure that you're not feeling any unnecessary tension in the body. Be supported under the knees if you need to, and keep that flame flickering in the mind's eye. Each time the mind tries to wander off, bring your focus back to the stillness, back to the breath. Slowly bring your awareness back into your physical body, back into the space in which you are in. Just becoming aware of the weight of your body on the mat, points of contact of your body on the floor. The wheel of the year has turned once more, and the nights have grown longer and colder. Tonight, the darkness begins to retreat, and light begins its return once again. As the wheel continues to spin, the sun returns once more. Remember that even in the darkest hours, even in the longest nights, the spark of life lingers on, laying dormant, waiting ready to return when the time was right. The darkness will leave us now as the sun begins to journey home. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you allow the breath to leave this time, just contemplating whether you are ready to begin to move. If you feel like you would like to remain still for a few more breaths, then that's totally okay. You can stay still in Shavasana for a little while longer. If you feel ready to move, you can start to gently wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, bringing some physical movement back into your body. Moving intuitively, responding to what your body needs. Before you come up to seated, make sure you're just going to roll over onto your side, just into fetal position. Just making a pillow with your hands and just rest there for a few more breaths. Just absorbing all of the energy that comes with practicing and balancing out your yin and yang energies. And then when you feel ready, very slowly pressing yourself up to seated, keeping your eyes closed. Bringing your hands to your heart center in prayer. And we'll seal the practice with 3 Oms. I'm going to inhale and exhale to prepare. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Inhale. Place your hands either side of the thighs, palms to floor. Take a moment to reground, to reconnect. Inhale, scoop up all the energy you cultivated in your practice this evening, palms together overhead. Exhale, bring that energy down through the center line of the body, fingertips back down to the mat. And again, hands either side. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Last time, hands either side. Inhale, scoop up all that peace, that calm, that wonderful energy and love. As you exhale, bring it all to your heart center this time. Take another nice, deep, nourishing breath in. And as you exhale, lower your chin to chest, offering your head to your heart. Very gently blinking your eyes open a few times. Perhaps allowing that candlelight to stimulate your sight once more. And then bowing the head, Om Shanti, Namaste. Thank you, guys. I hope you enjoyed that 2.5, well, just a bit over 2.5 hours of yin, well, flow, slow flow, yin and restorative. You can unmute yourself, guys. I can't do it, so you'll have to do it. I'll put you all on a gallery. See you, Suzanne. Are you Bye, darling. I know you can't, I know I can't hear you. I hope you enjoyed that relaxing couple of hours. Are you all good? Yeah?
That was lovely.
Oh, thank you, Yana.
I'm good to bed now.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Thank you, guys. Namaste. Have a beautiful Christmas and a really happy New Year. And I'll do like a New Year's thing, and I'll let you all know when that's going to happen. But stay safe, everybody. Stay well, stay healthy, stay happy. Well, love you all. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Mom's trying to nick my blanket.
Mom's trying to nick your blanket, Molly. Bless you.
Oh, thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome. Have a lovely Christmas.
Have a good Christmas.
See you,
See you next year.
Yeah, see you next
Bye, lovely.
Mind.
Molly's laughing and giggling.
Oh, it's gone. Funny. Oh, I've done it.
Don't forget to blow your candles out, guys.
We'll have house fires everywhere.
Oh my God. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Merry Christmas. Bye.
Yes, bye-bye.
Ours are all battery operated. It was safe.